Let me see if I do it in time.
Hey, how are you? Good.
Okay.
Good morning, Ms. Humphrey.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Ms. Humphrey? I can't hear you. Can you hear me, Ms. Nichols?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, and I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay.
You live at Canyon Lake?
I do, sir.
Have y'all had any rain up there lately?
Not a lot. We need more.
Yeah, we can always use more out there. All right, this is the successor, so if you'll raise your right hand, you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this cause should be the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
All right, Ms. Nichols, since the will's already been admitted to probate, I'm gonna dispense with the necessity for proving up the death or proving up the will, so you can go right ahead.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Umber, I'm going to ask you a few questions. First, can you state your full name for the record?
Angela Humphrey?
Okay. Your mother was Lana H. Fulkinson, is that correct?
Yes.
And she died September 19th, 2019 in Beaumont, Jefferson County, Texas. Is that also correct?
Yes.
Now, Terrence R. Fulkinson was appointed independent executor of her estate on October 31st, 2019. Is that also correct?
Yes.
And is it also correct that Terrence R. Fulkinson died April 2nd, 2024?
Yes.
And is it also correct that there is still a necessity for a continued administration of the estate?
Yes.
Now, you are a resident of the state of Texas. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you've never been convicted of a felony. Is that also correct?
Correct.
And you are competent, suitable, and qualified and not disqualified to serve as successor independent executrix of this estate. Is that also correct?
Yes.
I have prepared for you a proof of death and other facts that memorializes the testimony that you just gave. I'm going to ask that you sign that in front of a notary. If you don't already have that in your possession, I'll send you another one after this hearing. But we will ask that you sign that in front of a notary and return that to our office for further handling. And we also have an oath of executrix that will get you to sign as well. And that basically it says that you will well and truly perform all the duties of independent executrix of the estate. Is that true that you will do so?
Yes, I will.
All right, if you'll get those two documents executed before a notary out in whatever that is, not Hayes County, Comal County?
Come out. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're gonna send this instruction sheet to Ms. Nichols. She'll forward it to you. Explains what your duties and responsibilities are. But other than that, as soon as you get that back to her, she'll e-file those documents. When she does so, I'll sign the order appointing you as successor, okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right, y'all have a great week.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
This is the same executor on both.
Oh, okay. One's a muniment,
Mhm.
one's for letters.
Yes.
Mrs. Green, then 2021.
Judge, can you ask
60
Trent if
minutes.
his client's name is Laura Callahan?
Huh?
When Trent comes on, if his client's name is Laura Callahan. I have Laura.
Good
Callahan.
morning, Mr. DeVenzio. Is your client's name Laura Callahan?
Zanchetti.
Huh?
James and Ketty.
Zanchetti.
I'm gonna pull in this Laura Callahan and we're gonna see who
Who?
she is. It's
Zanchetti.
It's
Laura.
supposedly Laura Crane Zanchetti. And I only have a Laura
She's got
Callahan.
3 names.
Oh, Zanchetti. No wonder I couldn't understand it.
So I'm gonna pull in Laura Callahan and we'll see who she is, if that's her or
Yeah.
not, okay?
Yeah.
Because we have the people for the contested docket that I don't know who's gonna be here or not.
I like that floor to lead, Trent.
Thank you.
If she is, isn't she? I could be all bragging about the Kansas City Chiefs, but I'm not. Even though they won,
You know,
they won and.
They get a lot of help from the refs, I tell you.
Oh, whatever.
Who was?
The Chiefs. That's who I pull for. Ask, okay, see if this is her.
All right. That says Laura Callahan. Are you Laura Crane or Laura Zanchetti?
Laura Zanchetti.
Okay. All right. If I can get you to raise your right hand, and I'm going to swear you in both the estate of Harold Douglas Crane and Barbara A. Crane. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in both these causes shall be the truth self you got?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Go, I'll tell you what I will do, Mr. DeVenzio, in order to try to save us a little time. I'm gonna get her to, well, we have one probate. Okay, I'm gonna hold up what purports to be the last will and testament of Barbara Crane. Do you recognize that as being such?
Yes,
And I'm gonna go back to the signature page. Ask you if you recognize that as being her signature on that document.
yes,
And to your knowledge, after the date she executed this will, which appears to have been on January 14th of 2014, did she ever amend it or revoke it?
no,
Okay, and now I'm gonna hold up what purports to be the last will and testament of Harold Douglas Crane. Do you recognize that?
yes,
And I'm gonna go back to the signature page on this document and ask you if that is Mr. Crane's signature on that document.
yes,
And to your knowledge, after the date he made that in January 2014, did he ever modify or revoke that will?
no.
Okay, go right ahead, Mr. DeVenzio.
Laura, we had a chance to talk this morning and we confirmed that you've received 2 documents titled Proof of Death and Other Facts. Have you had a
Yes.
chance to review those documents?
Yes,
And were all those facts true and correct?
yes,
And you understand that after the hearing, you need to go before notary public and have those signed while you're with the notary public, correct?
yes,
And we've also sent you an oath where you are intent in serving as executor. You're willing to take on that job, is that correct?
yes,
And you also understand that you need to take that oath to the notary and sign it in front of the notary.
yes,
Judge, I have no further questions.
Okay, here's the question. Is the oath of no debt on Mrs. Crane for the muniment, is that contained within the? Yes, it is. Okay. All righty, so you'll take those documents and I got them mixed up. Have them executed before a notary and return those to Mr. DeVenzio. He'll e-file those with the county clerk. Once he does so, I'll sign the order admitting your mother's will to probate as muniment of title and your father's will to probate, and authorizing the clerk to issue letters testamentary that will give you authority to act on behalf of the estate, okay?
All right, thank you.
Make sure that you cooperate with Mr. DeVinzio in doing inventories. The estates code requires those to be filed within 90 days of the date I signed the order. He'll explain to you what that involves. There's also an instruction sheet that we're going to email to Mr. DeVinzio, looks like this.
Okay.
Your father's estate, and he'll email that to you. So make sure you take some time to review that because it explains what your duties are, okay?
Thank you.
All right, y'all have a great week. And
Thank you.
you have
Bye-bye.
one more, Mr. DeVinzio?
No, so that's it.
Okay, well, y'all have a great week. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Oh, you're saying stuff. Thank you.
Oh, okay,
That's
this
status
is,
conference.
okay, you may come forward, Mr. Monk, on the status conference on the Anatolia estate. Okay, looks like you sent a,
The court at first requested a written update from us, and so I did gather some written information, and then the court requested a status conference. So I think what you have is a written summary, but we can talk about any of the issues that are going on as well.
well, has the house been listed with a realtor?
Well, it was supposed to be, they didn't do it.
They didn't what?
He was supposed to take the drone shots and list it. Freeman, it's in the state. And I kept impressing upon Freeman. I'm talking to multiple realtors. You know, in the beginning, people were like, don't even bother because it's a tax, and it looked like it was at 550. This is who it was supposed to be with.
Okay,
Freeman, right, but it's not on their site yet. But that's, the contract signed.
with who?
Derek Freeman, it's in here, so.
Okay, is it on the multiple listing service yet?
Not yet, because we couldn't get it cleaned, it's in terrible condition. And it has no air conditioners running, and the temperature runs about 110, 115. So, but that is, but I've been in touch with Freeman now and said you can do analysis, let's get it done. Didn't hear back. So the whole time I've been talking to Missy on it,
Who?
Missy Colazzo.
Okay,
And she's also an expert on as is. You know, I kept emphasizing this to Derek and Deborah Freeman. We don't want something fancy. We want it as is. And in the meantime, I'm doing other things, which are estate sale people, clean out people, garage sale people, talking to all of them, auction folks, you know.
The property is not in good condition, and so I think that the shift has been to try to sell it as is for a developer to tear it down and maybe just develop the lots. And I think what she's working now with is that the realtor that's maybe gonna approach it that way. She had signed a listing agreement with Freeman Properties,
But he's been
but
unresponsive.
it did not get listed on the MLS. And they did not respond. I think they were concerned about the condition of the property to some degree.
And, you know, there was some discussion, and Missy knows about that as well. It doesn't necessarily need to be demolished. If somebody really wants to do it, they're commercial options. Given the size of it, and given the rooms, given the fact that it's handicapped accessible, there are things that can be done commercially. And Missy has a really creative mind. Actually, I just spoke to her this morning. And she's ready to go.
okay, well,
Who does?
would you like to say something?
Yes. Who does? Missy Colazo? She was there the other day and she don't answer the door.
I wasn't home.
Good, Jeff.
I was
Dad
at
died
the
when
Uh, we're in
11
court.
morning.
And you're gonna, you better stay calm.
I'm trying to.
Okay,
She's 2.5 years ago. She's done nothing but let the dog and shit in the house, ruined the house. I'm talking about ruined the house. We have rats, coons, everything. The pools went to shit. I got pictures. She wrecked the car twice, scraped on the side, did the front. That's an asset. It's not even her car.
The car.
She doesn't even have the insurance.
I'm not gonna hear two
I'm not-
people talking at one time. Let him
She doesn't
finish
have
and then I'll
tags on
let
the
you
car.
respond.
She drove here in that car, doesn't have tags. I had to move out of that house because she let the, I've been talking about ruined my room, everything I own. That's how bad it is. I'm talking about ruined. The whole house is ruined, done. She has done nothing. She hadn't cleaned nothing. I was cutting the grass every couple of weeks for 2 years almost. But she starts talking, puts me in jail. Puts me in jail, tries to put me in jail because I go over there and follows me 100 yards out around the house. And then watch I go shut the gate, she wants to stick her foot in there and say all this, "Ooh," stuff like that. She's not doing nothing. The house is ruined, yeah. The taxes are higher than the thing. It needs to be totally stripped. There's no BS here. I'm telling you. Jeff does nothing. There's money in the bank account, cash. I want a count of that cash. there was a checking account or something from the Navy Federal Credit Union. Nobody says shit about it. Nothing. That's
I've
part
never
of my
heard of
language.
that.
It's account 7610 of the Navy Federal Credit Union.
I've never heard. of
That's
that.
what the insurance was getting paid out of the car. I called about the insurance.
My sister
She
paid
canceled
me.
my insurance, took me off the policy and excluded me. I've been on that policy for my dad's whole time. Stuff like that.
Well,
Here's what I
there-
want, Jeff. I want the cash.
In here, you will not refer to me by my
I mean,
first
Mr.
name.
Jeff, man, look, here's what I want. I want the cash. Whatever's in the account, here's the PNC Bank, I can't even get access to it. I want accounting of that account. I want the cash, my third. I want a third of whatever the thing. I want to see the paperwork on the thing, not what she said. All she said is, here's this, here's the contents of the house, 22,000. Where's the itemized list? I want to see an itemized list. I want the white car, she can keep the other car. I can make it easy. This is simple. I want my third of the cash. I'm gonna take the little white Acura that she claimed was $600. She can keep the little other Acura.
Okay, hold on just a second. I'm not
That's
here
all
to
I want.
parse out all these things.
That's
I'm
all I
not-
want and get
okay,
done with
hold
it. I
on,
don't wanna be
hold
with it.
on. You know, I understand your frustration because this has taken
Way too
forever.
long.
But I had to wait to be appointed. because
You
there
haven't
was
done
no-
anything.
Because what?
There was no will. I had to wait to be,
Look, Jeff,
you know.
I
granted
don't
Wait,
know.
hold
administrative.
on,
had to
I
wait.
can't, listen, when were you appointed?
I think it's July 2023.
Okay, well, that's over a year ago.
It's
Yeah,
July
but
2, it's July
As I
2.
put in the statement,
July
we're looking
22.
at, and that may be June, we're looking at another 5, 6 months. The thing is, the house has been in tax sale. It has been that way. I've been in touch with them.
How is she still living in the house?
There will be time there. Kareem Anatoly has not resided in that house since he went to prison,
Because she put
which
me in there.
was, excuse me,
Because she
well
put me in
over,
there.
well over 5
I'm
years.
gonna
ago.
have to exclude you from the courtroom if you interrupt while another person's
Where I
talking.
was granted a protective order for 2 years. There is an assault charge against him. There's a harassment charge against him. He broke into the house and stole Oriental rugs. The Grover's Police Department have a detective assigned in my case. You know, the realtor comes to the house, nobody's there, and all of a sudden he shows up out of nowhere screaming in her ear with her back to her. He's stalking the house and pacing the house. When I do my due diligence, this is a very complicated situation because my father left a mess. The dirt
Yeah, but I
he's
told
talking
y'all,
about,
I
was
found
there
out
when
for
he-
you, hold
when
on
he
just a
left.
minute. I found out for you several months ago that they were waiving a bunch of the charges.
No, yeah, the taxes.
That, with the tax.
And the delay with that was Derek said he would do A, B, and C, and D, and that didn't get done. And then in order to have someone really clean it so we can show it the way they wanted to do it, I couldn't do that with it, with no air conditioning. No. It was not inhabitable. But now, I mean, you know, and I've followed through with all the other things. I've interviewed multiple lawyers, you know, the original.
Realtors?
Yeah, some realtors were, you know, when they couldn't quite figure out the tax issue, were just give it up, you know. But once it went down to 300, right, and 20. And I've just been in touch with the assessor's office yesterday. So the assessor's gonna look at it and it's, you know, inspector gonna come in, have the tablet walkthrough. And that will get lowered and we're gonna negotiate also on the fees, et cetera, of taxes. But Missy is creative. She said, you
You don't even
know,
answer the door when
nobody
she
has
shows up.
ever once. There was also a 90-day new contact order. It expired in January. I mean, in March. January, February, March. Groves, Mr. Reynolds.
May I say something?
May.
All this bull she's talking about, locking me up, going to prison, and everything. She's the one that got me locked up, Jeff. She filed the bogus ass charges on me, filed them just till I get locked up. Let me tell you something what she did, Jeff. You wanna talk shit? She assaulted my 87-year-old dad, 87 years old. Had him beat, scratched his face.
Okay, we're
Listen,
not here
no, no,
on
no.
all that.
Had
I'm
him
here,
beating
hold
on
on,
the
hold
ground.
on.
This is
I'm
her
here,
character.
I want this estate.
Done.
She's not doing nothing.
I I'm
You
gonna
want
give
to-
another month. If something's not done, I'm removing her.
I
and I'm
want to
gonna
run it.
You
appoint
mean
somebody
sell
else.
or put it on the listing? It'll
I wanna be
listed in the
appointed.
next 2 weeks, minimum.
I am the heir. I had this done, look,
I
Jeff,
can't.
like 2 years ago, I had a realtor. I had him, how you think they got to pay them and to get the tax? I'm the one that called them.
He's-
They don't wanna handle
he cannot be
anything.
involved in anything.
They don't wanna handle anything.
No,
She is my
both of y'all
sister.
are too,
My sister,
emotionally invested in this to get anything
She-
done.
I'm getting it done.
And
look, Miss Judge Man, all
I'm
she's trying to
getting
do
it
is get me locked up so I can get off so she can just take the
My
money.
sister can
I'm
attest to
telling you,
that.
she's dirty. My dad knows it. Everybody knows
I
it.
don't wanna hear two people
It's-
talking again.
I need to know from you.
It's
We need to get
dirty.
it listed ASAP.
I'm gonna
She's done this the whole life.
reset this
I
for
just
1
talked to
month
Miss-
from today. If the house isn't sold,
So,
I'm gonna appoint somebody else to,
if it's not sold,
yeah.
what about just listing it? We're gonna look at investors and things.
What about the cash?
The
in
reason
account?
is,
That's what I want.
Judge Brannick, he won't let me talk. The reason is I'm working with Lineberger. They have it until December, right? And they said, they don't think it'll be December. They think it'll be, 4 months after that. Missy says it's gonna,
I know, I've spoken to Margaret about this.
yeah,
I'm trying to find some way for this estate to recover some money, which is why I made the
Yeah.
original call and found out,
thank you.
which
I
you should have
appreciate it.
done as executrix.
Nobody,
Uh,
you have
Nothing.
to understand,
Nothing.
Judge Brannick, that bill was coming to the house at that figure, literally for 16 years. It was never lower. I knew, I opened the mail, I gave it to my father, and he was panicked.
Well, I am automatically
Yeah, so-
suspect, and I will tell you this. I am automatically suspect when I have people in here who take no responsibility for their actions and always blame
I'm not
outside
blaming anyone.
circumstances.
It fell through, I got another realtor, and we're moving.
I had a realtor for 1.5 years. I had people that went, came and told me what the house was worth, what's the back taxes. And when they tell me, no, we're not doing your thing, just her and my sister. All I want is my cash out of this and they
Yeah,
deal with the
it's
house deal.
completely
I don't trust her
unfair.
with the money, Jeff.
The
I wanna know
reason-
is the money in that bank account. I wanna know if it's in there.
The reason.
That's what I wanna know.
Judge Brannick, and he knows.
And the E-Trade account.
Have we done an accounting in this case?
There's not been an accounting.
There's not, never been
Okay.
a account. And nobody
Okay, well,
telling me
hey, you
nothing.
obviously haven't requested in the
I have been
appropriate way.
I've been calling and telling this for 2 years. I
There are
told him-
certain ways underneath the estates code where, for an account to be requested. And if it's requested in the appropriate way, then there's a certain time period within
I
which it
called your
has to be
office, I
provided.
called him, and they told me. that
I
have to get a
can't give
lawyer.
legal advice.
They have to give me a lawyer. I said, I don't have money for a lawyer.
Well, you can Google
I-
the
I-
Texas Estates Code.
Huh?
You
I mean,
can
I just
Google
want, the court, she's responsible for what's in that account. All the court has to do is give me a paper where I can go down there and get, or tell the court, or tell her, or whatever you do. Split the money.
That's not the way Texas law works. I can't do things the way you want me
I'm
to.
saying
I
that-
have to do things the way the Texas
But
Estates
but
Code
it's
goes.
been 2, 3 years. You can't just take the money and then the house gets split different.
Everything would have been different if my father had a bill, as you know.
That's, it's iffy as
I
the
can't
world.
get a word in. October.
October 14th, I'm resetting this for another hearing.
So how,
I want to find out what status is. The court wants an updated inventory of any accounts belonging to the state since the death of Dr. M. Chowry.
I'm gonna,
Any amount spent out of any accounts. Some explanation of this, what was it, Navy Federal Credit Union account to which he referred.
Jeff, that's what the car insurance was getting paid out of, $200.
Well,
That would be nice.
It come up, and then look, and my sister Nadia is the one that handled it. She has access, my sister Nadia had access to my, listen, to my dad's account, yeah. She's the one that
I
handled all
don't
the
think he
paper.
understands that if I'm removed as administrator.
I'm talking.
You see this?
he was,
That he doesn't quite understand that what happens if I remove as administrator. he doesn't understand that he's shooting himself in the foot.
So she's removed. I'm gonna appoint a disinterested third party who's
I'm
gonna
trying to get
charge
everything
this.
done. I'm not
And
trying
that'll
to play
take-
games,
that
Jeff.
can take
This
years.
is just playing games. She's trying to live in the house
All
that she
right,
has
this
no,
hearing's over. I'm not gonna sit here
She has
and
no
put
place to
up
live,
with
Jeff.
people talking over each other. I'm not gonna do it. I'm resetting this for a month. I want an updated inventory. And
Can I-
if you provide me with an update 1 week before the October 14th hearing, if there's been a substantial development in the case that shows that the property is being sold and,
Listed in it, so.
then no, not listed. I asked you to list it several months ago.
I have someone
Okay.
listed. I hired someone. And he reneged on the contract.
Okay.
You don't have, because you don't answer the phone, you don't want to thing, you didn't do nothing to the house.
Every time I.
You want pictures, I'll show you the pictures of the dogs and shit in the house. I got
No,
everything.
I believe you.
I mean, I got it.
Uh,
I mean, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I don't trust her for one, Jeff.
That house had.
I don't trust her. She takes the money and spends that money, and what am I got? Nothing. I have to sue her then. That's it. That's the only thing I got.
I have no.
That's it.
Doctor, I'm so
She don't
sorry.
have, she's never had a job. She's on SSI and she's living in the house. Jeff.
Okay, this hearing's over. I'm not gonna sit here and listen to people who cannot avoid interrupting each other.
She keeps talking when I'm talking.
You understand what the order is
I'm
on?
very sorry, and I understand the order of the court was to provide inventory, an update the inventory, at least the week before the hearing, provide the court with any substantial update related to the sale of the assets, and provide explanation about the Navy credit union.
Yeah, and if there's a substantial movement in this estate that's gonna result in the heirs getting a final accounting and distribution, then we may be able to cancel the hearing, but we'll see.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, how can I write down everything and that's, everything is happening? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I can't give legal advice.
Huh?
I'm not allowed by the judicial
Can I write in
conduct.
an email to let you know, or court, to let the
You
court know?
can send anything to the court, but the court can't give you an advisory opinion.
I'm not saying, I just want the court to know
You can
Her
write down
action.
whatever you want and send an email.
her action. Okay.
It may be, but that wasn't the purpose of this hearing today.
I
And so
don't trust her.
I've reset. I understand you don't, but I have not removed her yet.
Yes, sir, Dan.
All right, thank you.
Sorry. It's been going 2.5.
Well, Mr. Monk, you have another hearing?
Yes, sir. Mr. Stovall has checked in. He's been around.
He had to what?
He was in family court. He may be back by now, but I know. Mr.
Okay, do we have
Stovall-
any show causes?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll take a quick break then.
See if
Hello?
Mr. Stovall's up there.
I'll go check this.
Okay.
I'm in court right now, but we just took a break. Well, what was tell me what you had, go.